Hey guys, today we're gonna... Oh, wait a sec. Today we're gonna talk about Victorian corset myths! So what do you think of when you hear the word corset? Tight? Fainting? The oppression of women? What do you think of when you think of the Victorian era? Top hats? Big butts? Corsets? You probably have some thoughts on Victorian era corsets, and I'm here to tell you, you're wrong! Let's debunk some popular Victorian corset myths. First, let's define the Victorian era. The reign of Queen Victoria of England lasted from 1837 to 1901. Let's get debunking! There's a common myth that Victorians would lace their corsets so tight that their organs would shift. But actually, tight lacing to that extreme was rare and seen as crazy even back then. Like how today, some people have surgery to look like Jessica Rabbit. Corsets were literally just underwear and practical garments. They were good for back support and bust support. They came in many different sizes to fit many different bodies and did not shift one's organs to places they should not be. Also, women wore corsets for hundreds of years. Why would they continue to do so if it made them pass out constantly? I mean, that would be pretty dumb. Another myth is that ladies would get their ribs removed so they could lace down tighter. No. Do you know how bad Victorian surgery was compared to today's? You might as well have had a caveman be your surgeon. No. So instead of lacing their corsets so tight that their organs found new homes, or cutting themselves to pieces, Victorian women used something special to create those extreme curves in photos. Magic! Just kidding, but Victorian witches are a vibe. No, they used a combination of padding and Victorian Photoshop. So pretty much magic. Burn her. Victorian women would have their photos edited so their waists could look so tiny. The Victorian era was full of lies. Their pants were thoroughly on fire. Another myth is that corsets made women constantly faint. No. There was a point in the Victorian era where women fainted way more often, but that was more likely due to tuberculosis rather than corsets. There's also this trope in a lot of movies where corsets hurt the main character. Pasta sauce. This makes me very angry. It should never be painful to wear a corset. If it does, it's either because it is falling apart or it doesn't fit well. Always wear a layer under your corset, not to protect you from corset stabs, but from your sweaty self. Another tip to get the best experience out of your corset is to make sure you get one that is high quality and fits you exactly. I'll show you an example. This is one of those corsets you get off Amazon, you know, like those things that went viral over like a year ago now. What was it? It's affordable, but it doesn't really fit that well. It's kind of tube-shaped, so it's somewhat tight in the waist, but also tight in the bust too. It's not ideal for like comfort because there's not much room left. It's a tube. Now here is the 1880s style corset I made myself. This cost more, but it fits my measurements exactly and it still has room in the bust so I can breathe comfortably. I'm able to lace down a little, but most of the shape comes from the corset tailoring and padding. This one gives me more of a shape than the other one. Let's lie them flat on the table and compare. Now, the cheaper modern corset is kind of flat when laying on the table, while my Victorian style corset keeps its shape, like to the max, man. That is some curvilicious corset. So there's a big difference between the cheaper modern corset and the one that was made for my measurements. I'm still gonna wear this one though because it is hella cute. It's just not that good for getting a defined waist. People also have this idea in their heads that women didn't move around in the Victorian era because of their corsets. Like they just sat and breathed. No. That doesn't even make sense considering all the photos of Victorian women on bikes I've seen in my life. I think people just like things that shock them, and maybe that's why all these myths about Victorian corsets have stuck around. I guess people are just entertained by other people's suffering. Now wear this corset. Okay, I'm done talking about old underwear. Bye.